fight could really be a major fight that a lot of people are looking to see. When did you know that?
When the people start talking, and obviously everybody around try to make this fight. I say, look, needs to be big.
This fight doesn't happen if you're never born, right? You made this fight happen. Why this fight?
Not me, it is who behind me.
I like Crawford, I get right to it.
Why?
Because he's like the first time you went from regular TV, which you've been doing a long time, to 3D. He's different. Really, that's the simplest way I can say it.
The clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez turned into a spectacle that lived up to its billing. Canelo himself admitted the fight was simply too big to ignore. After initially turning down the offer, the massive interest surrounding it made the bout feel historic, as fans across the world tuned in to witness two great champions share the ring.
You know, I take this fight because you can see how big is this fight, no? The beginning when they say, hey, you thinking about fight Crawford, I say, never thinking about that. But you can realize how big is this fight, no? Mexican, always Mexican versus USA is big. And two of the best pound for pound. And I think this fight is huge and means a lot for me.
When did you realize, when did the moment hit you that this fight can really, really be big? This fight can really be a major fight that a lot of people are looking to see. When did you know that?
When the people start talking, and obviously everybody around try to make this fight. I say, look, needs to be big, right? Because Netflix, Riyadh season, everybody interested in this fight. So that's when I realized how big is this fight.
Crawford felt like initially you needed some convincing because you thought it was a lose-lose proposition, whereas you're fighting the smaller guy, and if you won, you wouldn't really get any credit for it. Was that what you were thinking?
Yeah, but if you think well, I've been in that position before.
Saudi advisor and chairman Turki Al-Sheikh explained after the fight that the event was not just about boxing, but about creating a once-in-a-lifetime spectacle. He emphasized how precious it was for fans, especially with the possibility that this could be Terence Crawford's final appearance on such a stage. For Turkey, hosting the bout in front of a global audience carried deep meaning as it showcased two legends.
My country and my boss, you know? But really, if you look at as a business, this fight will not happen if we are not involved. As Gia, Riyadh season, Saudi Arabia, this is truth. Because even with what the relationship with Netflix, and we are very happy about it, still this fight costs more and more.
Speaking of cost more and more, for everyone who watches it, everyone already has a Netflix account. So they're not paying anything extra for it.
Yeah.
You, however, are the guy who just paid hundreds of millions of dollars for a pay-per-view fight that you wanted to see. So people like to get their money's worth. What do you want to see from this fight?
First, not what I want to see, what all the people around the world, and you are fans of boxing, want to see. It's take too long, but thanks God, without the support behind me from my government, my leaders, the Crown Prince and the vision, and without the love of the fans, we will stop not complete. This is what push us. This kind of fight, special Canelo Crawford, I want to explain it to you exactly why it is important and the fight of the century. Canelo is the biggest name in boxing now, and Crawford undefeated and have the chance to be undisputed for the third time. Maybe this is the last fight for Crawford. And for Canelo, it's mean a lot for his fan in North America and South America and all the world. He doesn't want to get beating from guy getting up 203 weight.
Renowned trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas, speaking alongside ESPN host Stephen A. Smith, had praised Terence Crawford even before the opening bell of the historic clash. Atlas drew a striking comparison, describing Crawford as the boxing equivalent of a leap from 3D to digital, a metaphor meant to capture his unique sharpness and elevated skill set. According to Atlas, Crawford's adaptability, precision, and calm demeanor set him apart from almost every other fighter in the sport today. When Crawford stepped into the ring, that prediction did not feel exaggerated. His ability to seamlessly shift between orthodox and southpaw stances, to read his opponent within moments, and to adjust with remarkable speed, highlighted why many analysts had placed their confidence in him. His composure under the brightest lights against one of the most decorated champions of the era underscored his evolution as a complete fighter.
Back in the day, I used Betamax, and then that was good. It was cool. VHS, VCR, all that stuff. I still got them, actually. And all of a sudden, digital came around.
There you go.
He's digital, really. And I'm not knocking Canelo for all the people out there that, want to pull their arrows now and start slinging shots at me. Hey, that's okay. That's fine. But I'm not knocking him. He's a good, solid guy. He's
Good,
tremendous.
solid guy. He's 63-2, Teddy, and has never been knocked out. And this guy that's
what's
fighting him
his
is
record?
moving up. 63-2.
Wait, what's his record?
63-2.
By who's accounting?
What do you mean by who's accounting? What are you trying to say?
What am I trying to say? There's a couple fights there that you might be able to argue there. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Starting with Triple G. Just a little bit. A little bit. I mean, you're insulting him a little bit. Like in a movie with De Niro.
I'm not insulting him. I'm pointing out the facts. But here's my point to you, Teddy. He's 63-2.
Lara, how about the Lara fight?
Hold on.
You want to go back further?
Okay. What about Madrimov with Crawford? I'm just saying.
No, he beat Madrimov. He didn't look the way we want him to look.
Okay.
Because stepping up for the first time to that weight class, he didn't look the way that we wanted to say, oh, my God.
Well, stay with me. Let me ask you this question.
And Madrimov was not getting the credit for the kind of fighter that he was.
But let me ask you a question, Teddy Atlas. He didn't look the way you wanted him to look, moving up from 147 to 154. Now he's going from 154 to 2 weight classes to 168 against a guy who's 11-0 at the 168-pound limit and is entering his 12th fight undefeated and has never been knocked out.
Yeah, VHS digital. Did you worry about that jump when you went from VHS to digital? No, you just said we're at digital now, and it looks good. It looks really good, and you look great. No, you do.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You look tremendous.
But I'm just saying, listen, I believe in Crawford too, and I believe that Crawford is one of the top 2 fighters on the planet. But he is moving up 2 weight classes, and when people look at him going up against Canelo, here's what they're saying. He's got to keep his distance. He's got to hit, stick, and move. He can't stay in front of him.
Canelo Alvarez, the 4-division world champion, entered the fight with his future already mapped out. He has stated openly that he intends to retire within the next 2 years, having already achieved virtually every goal a fighter can dream of, from unifying titles to headlining massive stadium events. Canelo's legacy is secure. Against Crawford, his performance reflected not only his enduring ability, but also his desire to cement his place as one of the sport's immortals. His focus was no longer on...
I think you'll box.
I don't know, maybe 2 more.
2 more years?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to accomplish that you haven't yet accomplished?
I already accomplished everything.
So there's
and I
nothing
did everything in boxing. Yeah. So I'm fine.
When this is all over for you, maybe in 2 years from now, what do you want to be remembered for?
One of the greatest fighters in the boxing history. That's why I'm here. That's why I start boxing. So I'm doing good.
I think you've already accomplished that.
Yeah.
Broadcaster and analyst Simon Jordan highlighted the extraordinary consistency and longevity of Canelo Alvarez's career. He reminded audiences that from his teenage years, when he first burst onto the professional scene, to becoming one of the most bankable pay-per-view stars in the sport, Canelo has carried the weight of expectations and delivered time after time. Jordan emphasized that not many athletes in boxing sustain their place at the very top for more than a decade, yet Canelo has managed to do so across multiple weight divisions. The fight itself served as a testament to those remarks. Canelo's ring intelligence, his ability to remain calm under pressure, and his knack for capitalizing on even the smallest openings reaffirmed why he is considered one of the greats of this era. Every adjustment he made during the exchanges reflected a deep well of experience that few opponents could truly match. As new champions continued to rise, Jordan's observations made it clear.
The interview, we went even deeper on it.
He did. Look, Canelo's achievements speak for themselves. You see, he's been around a long, long time, 20 years as a pro, and he's beat some of the best fighters out there for sure. I think that Paulie there is referring to him avoiding Benavidez, the fight that everyone's wanted to see and wanted to make. He's been picking and choosing his own opponents, and he has had some easy options. And he gets an opportunity to go in against Terence Crawford, or Terence Crawford gets the opportunity to go against him. Look, whatever way you want to look at it, I think that you cannot deny how good Canelo has been. He has adapted. He's had to adjust. He now, he stalks forward. He hunts his prey, but he single shots to the body, single shots to the head, and that's why I think timing for Terence Crawford here could be
Duke, me and Spencer have got Terence Crawford. How do you think this fight is won and lost?
Yeah, I think this fight is won for Crawford by sticking to his boxing, which he does beautifully. From the outset, I thought Crawford would win this fight simply because
you're in our game.
He's a great boxer, right? He switches from left to right effortlessly. He's a good stayer. He's got that spite that you need as a champion. What he's done has been done before, albeit many, many moons ago with Sugar Ray Leonard when he moved up and boxed Donnie Lalonde from welterweight to super middleweight, but he stopped off in between that and boxed Marvelous Marvin Hagler. So that's probably a harder route even still, but I feel that it's a stone difference. It's not really that much, not when you look at the bigger picture. A stone in weight is a lot of weight, of course it is. And sometimes you don't even want to give away a pound in weight, but the fact that he's putting on a stone of pure muscle.
UFC President Dana White, speaking as both a promoter and fight fan, described the event as the biggest boxing match of modern times. With 65,000 tickets sold, the atmosphere was nothing short of electric. White called it war, not just a fight, and the action in the ring lived up to that description. Every exchange was greeted by thunderous roars, and the fighters delivered a contest that felt monumental from start to finish. The sheer scale of the event highlighted its place as more than just another title.
All I care about as the promoter of this event is that it's a good fight. Over 65,000 people are coming in for this fight live. Who knows how many are going to tune in around the world on Netflix. But what I want is when it's over, everybody turns off the TV or walks out of the arena and goes, I'm so glad I came to this fight.
That was a war.
I mean, I could sit here for an hour and break down the fight, both ways for both guys. But what I truly believe is because Crawford's moving up in weight and this legacy thing is so important to him, he's going to come at Canelo. And you know how Canelo is as a counterpuncher and hits hard, and I think it's going to be a war.
Boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult reflected on the sparring footage between Canelo Alvarez and rising welterweight star Jiren Boots Enos that surfaced in the build-up to the fight. Although only short clips were made public, those exchanges have now taken on historical significance in light of Canelo's performance under the bright lights. The sessions were seen not just as practice, but as a sharpening ground where Canelo tested himself against one of the sport's most explosive young contenders. Even in limited glimpses, the footage hinted at the intensity and precision Canelo carried into training camp. Enos, widely regarded as one of the most dangerous rising talents, gave Canelo the kind of looks and resistance that only further refined his readiness for the main event. After the bout concluded, many fans and analysts revisited those sparring clips, viewing them through a new lens.
Now legendary sparring session with Boots Ennis and Saul Canelo Alvarez, all right? In looking at the footage we have, they show their feet. They don't really show much, and that's good. Right? Whatever happens in sparring stays in sparring. You don't want too much revealed. But I think, you can pull something from the footage. Like, post-sparring session, you could just see how friendly Saul Canelo Alvarez and Boots Ennis are.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Almost there. Yeah. Almost time. Yeah.
It's mutual respect. You can just see, and it just feels like Boots gave Canelo some good work. I think if Boots didn't, I think Canelo wouldn't respect him as much. I think Canelo would be like, get out of here. I mean, they couldn't even, leave the gym. They kept saying bye to each other over and over and over again like it was a bromance.
You got my piece. Who say he needs some rounds? Huh? Who? Yeah, he said he'll come back and do some work. Oh, yeah? You know what? Don't worry about it. You've never been a fighter? I said I'm up. And more, if they're scared, they run faster. If they are scared, more faster.
Bro, you know what that is. You know what that is. It's like if somebody whipped your ass and like, all right, then, boy, what? What, wait.
Former super middleweight champion Caleb Plant, who once faced Canelo in the ring, spoke highly of Terence Crawford in the lead-up to the fight. Plant described Crawford as ridiculously strong and powerful, and the fight validated that statement. Crawford's punches carried real weight, even at a higher division, and his physical presence ensured that Canelo could not simply walk through him. Observers noted how Crawford's blend of precision and unexpected strength
tell you what I think is best for each fighter. And I think, you know, if I was able to give my advice to Terence, it would be, I think that he should box on the outside, or I think he should be all the way inside.
Wait, all the way inside? That would sound like, no, you don't want to be on the inside because, like, Canelo could land body shots.
Yeah, but Terence is a great inside fighter. He's ridiculously strong. And I think the most dangerous place for Terence to be would be in the mid-range, chilling this far from Canelo, at this distance, where Canelo is able to get a lot of leverage and be really explosive, as opposed to what I did to Trevor McCumbee, where I stepped all the way to the inside. And, you know, do you want to be this far away from a baseball bat, or do you want to be this far away from a baseball bat?
This here.
Exactly.
They can't extend.
They can't gain the same momentum. And just fighting on the outside, sticking, moving, running around, moving around, using his legs for 12 rounds could be a lot. Where, as opposed to him being smart on the outside and moving, and then picking his times and getting all the way to the inside and going to work, and then going all the way back out, all the way back in, all the way back out. But I think chilling at the mid-range with Canelo could be dangerous.
Veteran boxer Gabriel Rosado warned beforehand that Crawford would need to be extremely cautious against Canelo. Given the Mexican star's history of battling naturally bigger men, that prediction played out in the exchanges that unfolded during the bout. Canelo's comfort against physically larger opponents became evident as he absorbed shots with composure and responded with heavy counters. For Crawford, the challenge was navigating that experience while still asserting himself.
Years, he's adapted to the weight. It's his natural weight. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Crawford got to be real careful in the middle rounds.
And I've heard you say this before. Look, it doesn't matter if you're sparring with heavyweights in sparring.
Yeah.
If you're sparring with 68-pounders, 75-pounders in sparring. When you get clocked with them 10 ounces with no headgear on, it's a different game, a different story. Drop down on that for us for a second. What is so different about it? Is it just a jolt? Is it a shock? What's the difference?
It's different just because it's just the pop. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you're sparring heavier guys, it really, it means something, but it's 16-ounce gloves and it's a headgear. So it's not the same effect. But, you know what I'm saying? And Crawford and Canelo being the same size right now and the same height, people go, oh, well, it's even.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned.